Hello everybody, it is Christine. It's time for a process video for 52 favorite photos for 52 weeks with Miranda Weber. I do want to do this first. I want to show you guys. This is my new glass board that Miss Tara at the Paper Snob enabled me to purchase. She actually dropped a discount code in like our Facebook group or whatever. And I just love this. Look at these beautiful flowers. And then there's this neat little like thing here in the middle. I guess maybe it's for cards. I don't know. I should probably read up on that, the purpose of it. But it's really beautiful. We got this centerpiece here. It's 16 inches by 12 inches. So I did not order the biggest size. They have a bigger size. You can kind of see, you know, this is the 12 by 12 here. I didn't because I do have the Tim Holtz, which is a bigger size. And frankly, I tend to like, I don't know. I feel very like I'm spreading too far in a way. I don't know how to explain it. So I bought this size on purpose. And I do love it. I love these little florals. I've been looking at these for a while. With her coupon, I was like, okay. And then I screwed up. I did not read the description of the magnets, you guys. I thought I was ordering one pack of magnets. And I ordered one pack, meaning one magnet. So, and it's way bigger. I thought I was getting like small ones. So I didn't read the description well enough. So that's my bad. But look at this. Boop. That stuff that's pretty hard. So I will be able to use it, at least, you know, I'll be able to use it. But I'm going to have to go back on there and get a little bit smaller because I kind of want it for, you know, individual pieces. So my bad. Anyway, so here's my photos. This is me and my daughter. We had girls' night out and the boys were out of town. They were in Vegas. So we had a good time that week going out to eat and stuff. And I thought this collection here came from my scrap room flavors of the month, although I did have the embellishment kit, so I got a little extra stuff. I thought this was kind of a pretty color palette to go with it. I won't use, oh, I didn't even know those were on there. Let's see about that. I may cut those apart. I'm not sure what side I was going to use here. That's pretty. Look at the florals on that. Let's see. I was kind of ahead of my head. I have a cardstock. There it is. I have a cardstock, so I may use that as something. And then there's this pretty plaid, so I may come on the back side. Where's my picture now? Yeah. Because I do have like a red drink in here, which is kind of neat. So I may come on there and do something like that so I can use these papers. I love the wood grain. Probably will end up using that some kind of way. The green. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do this. This floral is really pretty, but I thought it was pretty because it's got like her little beigey color and her little red hair and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see what I got going on. Title, I think I might do Wild and Free because it's girls' night out, right? So I might use that. All right, well, let me do a little bit of thinking on my design here besides just the framed out piece of cardstock. And I'll be back on in a moment. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. I changed my mind about my background. I decided I really like this fox. I think I even made the comment when I unboxed it or was using it on a different layout that I was going to use this fox for the layout with my daughter because she's got that red hair and stuff. So I changed my mind. That's basically what happened. So the cardstock is now the frame, and then this little, I want to kind of call it a tone-on-tone. It's a little polka dot with the little fox design in the lower right is now my background. And then I have my two photos. I did mat the photos on that little red plaid and then a white cardstock. And what my intention to do here is to build up that lower right corner with embellishments, and then the upper left corner has also got a little bit of goodies up there. I'm going to add embellishments up there. So I got my two photos though, and they kind of have to, I shouldn't say have to. In my mind, they kind of need to have to kind of, y'all, I use the word kind of way too much. I need to work on that. I'm going to work on that. I need to do a little bit of practicing there. But basically those photos, I want them to nestle in the like L that the fox little design is making. And then I decided I need a little shelf for them to go on. So I take this wood grain, which I adore. It's a real dark wood grain. It's really pretty. I did save the last little bit of it too. I trimmed it off and it's going in my scraps over there. I need to do a layout for my leftovers series. That's what I was trying to think of. Because I just have some scraps over there. So I'll have to do a layout for that. But basically I've got this little shelf made. I did tear the bottom to give a little bit of roughness there. Plus it exposes the white, which ties back into that little fox and stuff. And now I'm going to go through this chipboard here. And there's my title, Wild and Free. I'm going to put it at the bottom. I started at the top and then I changed my mind. And you're going to see a little bit of cutting away here and there because I was fasting a little bit. And so you don't really miss anything except me just kind of picking things up and looking. But you'll see a little bit of choppiness here in the middle because it's like me picking things up after I start laying things down here. In the upper left, I do like that Live, Love, Explore because we tried a couple of new restaurants, I think it was. she found them on Yelp or something. So that's usually a fairly good resource for us. And so she picked a couple that we hadn't been to before. That might be a lie now that I say that. We went one night, we did painted pottery, and we went to Cava, which we'd been to before. But this one here we'd never been to, so she'd found this one. I do add a little vertical element in the shape of that little, like, tag thing or, like, banner. So that's my little vertical element. And then unplugged, which was nice because, okay, we did have our phone with us to take a few pictures, but other than that, we really didn't use our phone. So it's kind of unplugged. Let's call it that. So I got my little photo block going on here. I'm going to glue that down. I've got kind of ideas of where everything I wanted to put. I just used the word kinda again. There's a little chipboard flower. I'm going to put that in with that little fox again. That's going to go down in there. What have I got? I tried that little squirrel. I think it's cute, but it's just not going to go. Doesn't really, just from a design standpoint, it would have to have gone on the left, and it wasn't going to fit. His tail was a little too bushy. So, again, I've got Wild and Free. I do add Let's Get Lost underneath that. I think that's really cute. That's a foam sticker. And then now I've decided underneath the left-hand side of the photo block, I want to add this little journaling card that says Life is an Adventure. So I fussy cut that out of that paper with all those little cut-aparts. Or rather, I am fussy cutting it. It's not real hard to cut. It's a little bit kind of big and just a little wiggly cutting, not too much. That's going to go on that left-hand side there. I tried on the right, and I go, no, it's kind of got that. There, I said kind of again, y'all. It's got that title at the top there, so I want that to kind of... Lord have mercy. Okay, I'm going to take a shot every time I say kind of, I guess. Anyways, I got Life is an Adventure now up over my photo. I do add this little tabby here. I did not add the date at this point. I actually will journal toward the end there, but actually I'll do it off camera and you'll see it in the little slowdown, but I did not add the date at this point. So I've got the little tabby. I've got my little things there. I don't know if I've glued everything down at this point. Over the fox, I had that little shelf like break. It was a square, and I didn't care for that being so, I don't know how to explain it, but it just was a little bit too harsh to me. So I add that little butterfly, and I think it's kind of perfect because, there I used kind of again. I think it's perfect because the fox, it almost looks like it's going onto his nose. And y'all, I probably should never have mentioned that kind of thing because now you're going to hear it every time I say it too. Please don't count. That's going to... If I get a comment that says, you said kind of 47 times, I'll be like, oh my God, how embarrassing. If you count it, that'll be funny, but I don't know. I might be embarrassed if you do that. Anyway, I'm gluing everything down. I have completely gone off topic. This is not about the layout, y'all. Not about the layout at all. I put the little butterfly down for the fox. I've glued down the few pieces in the upper left up there. I do have a couple of foam hearts, so I'm going to add those. And then I will get into the chipboard in a moment, and I will start adding those. Oh, there was some paper ephemera hearts too. So I'm going to end up with paper hearts, foam hearts, and chipboard hearts before it's all said and done with. And I'll put a couple in the, up over the tabby, a couple to the left of my photo, and then, I say a couple, it's actually 3. And then 3 down by the title on the right-hand side. And I really enjoyed that. I think that turned out cute. There's some stars in the chipboard, but I didn't pull those in because I really wasn't using stars anywhere else. And I will say the other thing I'm going to do in the lower right is I will fussy cut out a little piece. It's like shoes and a butterfly or something, and I'll put foam behind them to add over the top of the little fox graphic. Of course, I have had the chipboard flower, and then I'm going to add a few little pieces of they're like enamel things with rings around them. I don't know what they're called, or maybe they're like faux brads, I guess. And I want to kind of point that out because what I'm doing with that lower right piece down there, just so you know, you can use these papers actually pretty easily in my mind because as long as you're okay either covering up some stuff or, whatever, because the arts are really a really good embellishment cluster start, if that makes sense. So it's a really great way to say, look, my embellishment cluster's already started. So you just make it in your mind like you made that cluster, and all of a sudden it becomes easier to add things to. Again, you have to almost just be a little bit okay hiding a few pieces of the art, which can be hard because it is really beautiful. Like in this case, I put my little shoe thing down there on the right, and the little blue butterfly that was a part of the shoe graphic covers up part of the little butterfly that's just above it, but it's okay because it's like layered, right? Because I put foam under it. And of course I do add the little flower, the chipboard flower, which is covering up some of the little foot and some of the little flower, but it's okay because it's almost like it's 3-dimensional. You've created a 3-dimensional cluster by just adding stuff on top of the art. And in the upper left, of course, again, I did cover up some of that butterfly in the upper left with my title wordy things, but it's still like a part of it. It's not floating. So that's what I would encourage you to think about when you get these papers that have these art pieces on the corners or the tops or whatever. They actually make it, in my mind, a little bit easier. So that's my layout. You can see I added my little bit of journaling in white pen there, white gel pen. And thank you so much for listening to me. Again, if you count the word kinda, well, good for you. You might win a prize. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the playlist. There's a ton of people playing along. And I don't know what week we're in at this point. It's what, September? So I don't know, 25 weeks or something, or 30-something weeks. So check it out. See you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.